out to the Mamaroneck head coach, New Canaan High School graduate Jeff
Hello,
Bernard.
everyone.
Hi, coach. Welcome home.
Welcome to New Canaan High School for today's matchup between Mamaroneck and New Canaan Rams. Tonight's definitely going to be an interesting game. It's New Canaan's opener on the season for Mamaroneck. It's their third game of the season, coming off a loss, 11-10 last week against Briarcliff, and a previous 13-7 win against North Station for their opening game of the season. New Canaan their team's looking very different this year from last year. They lost a lot of valuable seniors this year. Underclassmen dominated team, but their lineup looks very strong. Chad, what are you seeing?
Yeah, today I'm definitely excited to see Doster Kroll play. Through their first couple of scrimmages, he's had 12 goals on 2 games, which is definitely something really impressive. We usually celebrate hat tricks in this sport, and to see a guy putting up nearly 6 goals a game is definitely going to be really interesting to see from a sophomore today. Also, sophomores like Dylan Stevens, a starting defenseman, who was also one of the best defensemen in the state last year. He'll be a really fun player to watch. And then on the Mamaroneck side, there are definitely some really talented players. We got guys going to Providence, Harvard, Penn, Cornell, some really top-notch schools in the lacrosse world. The one player I'm really looking forward to seeing today is number 11. He plays midi for the Mamaroneck team. His last name is Rayner. He's going to Providence. He's 6'4", 210. Definitely a big fellow running down out there.
Wow, Chad. We mentioned some of those underclassmen, but there are some returners on this New Canaan team. We're looking at Michael Norton, the Bowdoin commit, midfield captain for this team. He's a real leader out there. Also, Carter Connors, the attackman who's committed to Franklin and Marshall. He definitely gives them a spark offensively as that righty attackman, Chad.
Trust me, Carter is both a spark on the field and off the field. Truly a fun guy to be around.
As we take a look here at the New Canaan starting lineups, you see Dylan Stevens and Grace Masco, as you mentioned, 2 sophomores starting on defense for the Rams.
Yeah, Jackson, I'm really interested to see how Gray plays. Last year we had him come on as a freshman later in the season, and he was a really fun guy to have on the team. He was always there looking to help people out, so I really am excited to see him start today.
2 teams setting up for the face-off here. And Michael Norton loses the face-off, but the ground ball is recovered, and that's number 7, Nick Garcia.
You can see some early jitters here from Gray Tomasco trying to figure out where to get around. It'll be interesting to see how he settles in throughout the rest of the game.
And Holden Busby gives the clear over to Dylan Stevens. Now New Canaan takes it on the offensive. It's Dylan Murray, who turns it over. Bad pass there, which was intended for number 8, Justin Villeneuve.
Villeneuve's a very interesting player as well. He was on our JV team last year. He's one of the few lefties that we have on the team as he's able to get the ball on a turnover here.
Villeneuve with an opportunity, and he puts it right at the goalie. 2 back-to-back easy opportunities for the Rams. 3 shots on goal, Chad. Didn't convert on any of those. And another turnover. New Canaan miss again. Number 5, Michael Norton there.
Yeah, Jackson, if the Rams are going to win this game, they have to be able to finish easy opportunities like that. It'll be interesting to see how Michael Norton's able to settle down after missing an open shot like that.
Wild sequence there for the Rams. 4 shots, I believe, on goal. None of them were converted. One of them was basically an empty goal by Justin Villeneuve, but the goalie just recovered and stuffed them.
Mamaroneck's really struggling to clear here as they get another turnover, but the Rams haven't been able to finish it really today.
Number 23 there, Doster Kroll, loses his stick. It'll be going the other way. Playing without a stick called on him. Mamaroneck gets it past midfield. I believe they still need to get a touch here, and they do. Get the ball in X. Mamaroneck swinging the ball around. Chad, that was quite some sequence we saw from the Rams. I'm kind of surprised they didn't come away with a goal there. So many opportunities, none of them able to convert.
Yeah, this is an issue we see carrying over from last season. The Rams were able to get a lot of shots and were able to play really good defense and force turnovers, but they were never really able to finish it.
That's right, Chad, and we definitely saw a lot of lack of finishing there. As number 4, Vin Cognetta, gets run over. Going the other way.
Jackson, that's a shocking one to see. Vin was one of our star linebackers on the football team this year, and I don't think I saw him get run over once.
Vin Cognetta is a big fellow, but just got plowed through. Don't know if we'll see that again. Carter Connors takes the ball and turns it over. It'll be going the other way. It's number 25 here.
Yeah, Jack Ramsey, he wasn't a guy we were told about before this broadcast, but he's already making a huge impact, running around, being able to force turnovers, and even being able to run over Vincognetta.
That's right. Definitely a hard guy to run through, and he took him right down the alley, but unable to make any offense come from that. Now Chambers passes it to X, and Martin, captain. Mamaroneck swinging it around here. Glinsky setting up a dodge here. Takes it over the top. He's going lefty. He runs right at Michael Norton and scores. Holden Busby could not save that one. Too low on the bouncer from Glinsky.
Well, that's why that guy's going to Harvard right there, Jackson. Being able to dodge like that from the top, even on a guy like Michael Norton, who's coming off a national championship club season, being able to dodge through a guy like that really shows some skill from him.
That was a really great dodge. He got exactly what he wanted there. You can tell he's trying to take a shot with his left hand. This is just what he did. Took the top off the defense, ran right down the alley, and knocked that one home. Nothing Busby could do.
When you have a short stick guy guarding a guy like that that's going to Harvard, you're always looking for your defense to make a slide, and it really didn't seem to be there right there.
That's right, Chad. And number 33, Cam Wheatfeld, wins the face-off. He passes it down to Carter Connors at X. The Rams will look to respond to that early Mamaroneck goal. Carter Connors can be lethal if he gets some space. Now it's Salmini trying to set it up, and he just loses the ball. He's triple teamed, but he gets rid of it to Wheatfeld. And a rip shot there by number, no, call it in. That was number 16 there, Griffin Gentner, who took a shot that looked like it went bar down and out, but the ref will say it was in, and New Canaan responds.
Griffin Gentner's a freak athlete. I'm not surprised to see him out there being able to put the ball in the net like that. He box jumps over 50 inches, which is really impressive from a guy of his size.
Well, that shot was certainly impressive. I wasn't sure whether it went in or out, but it looked like it went off the top crossbar, and the ref called it in. So New Canaan ties it up with an early response to Mamaroneck's opening goal. Set up for the face-off here. And John Tataro wins the face-off. He'll look to get rid of it here. And he does so, giving it off to lefty attackman, Justin Villeneuve. And Doster Kroll split dodge down the left alley and shoots, and a nice goal from Doster Kroll. Switch to the right hand, went right between the goalie's legs. What did you see on that one from Kroll?
Jackson, I'm honestly shocked to see him dodging like that. When I played with him, he was more of a catch-and-shoot guy with almost endless range from 15. He's even hit from 16 yards on a couple of kids. But seeing that he added that dodge to the game is really going to make him a lethal player this year.
That was a smooth dodge, Chad. Beat him with the left hand, switched back right, shot it right between the goalie's legs. If that's a sign of things to come for Kroll, his season's definitely looking bright. These underclassmen for the Rams have really been dominant. And Wheatfeld wins another face-off. Gives it up to Carter Connors at X. Connors will look to slow things down and possibly set up a dodge for himself.
The Rams seem to be taking a new approach to getting the ball down on fast breaks this year. You see that Will Hayes, the long stick, just is now getting off the field. When typically you'll see LSMs running off the field right after a face-off, but this Rams team really wants to get going right off the break.
Interesting observation there, Chad. They kept Wheatfeld in there too. maybe they were trying to catch a spark off the face-off, but couldn't do much. And there's Michael Norton with a lefty shot. Was off the goal, but they will retain possession. Carter Connors with it at X, guarded by Brady Rogoff.
Yeah, you can see a real difference with this Rams team so far this year. Last year there were a couple stars on the team like Chris Canette, but this seems to really be a committee of guys taking shots, unlike last year.
I think their offense looks good so far, Chad. They're moving the ball well. They're getting quality opportunities. Impressed with what I've seen. It's a bad turnover there. Carter Connors couldn't handle it. And Brady Rogoff, the defenseman, will take it the other way for Mamaroneck. Justin Villeneuve and Carter Connors going hard to force a turnover on the ride. They nearly do, but it'll be going the other way. It's Dylan Murray. He's trying to attack number 15. Baker, who still has the ball. He gives it up to Glinsky, but it's saved. Great save there by Busby.
You got to love the hit Barrett Schmitz laid on Glinsky there. It's interesting to see if they're going to keep up this really aggressive approach to guarding him for the rest of the day.
That's right. Great play there by Schmitz. Really took it to the Harvard commit, Glinsky. Did not allow him to get a second goal of the day. And Michael Norton, the senior captain, slow things down for his team. They really depend on his leadership. What role do you think Norton's playing on this team this year, Chad?
Well, even last year, Norton was a real standout for the team, always being a hustle guy, always being willing to make the plays other guys weren't. And this year, it's really awesome to see him being a key part of the offense.
He's a great player. Just plays the game the right way. Real work ethic guy.
And we can see that keeping Dylan Murray down on the offensive end really almost paid off for the Rams there. He was able to get a shot off, and it looks like they're subbing him off now.
Interesting what we're seeing. They're really trying to force the ball in transition and not let Mamaroneck have a chance to match their personnel. Now Norton, jab step, taking it with the right hand, rips a shot underhand, goes over the goal, and they will say it's Mamaroneck's ball. I'm not quite sure what happened there, Chad.
I think it was a moving screen call is what I believe I saw the ref signaling, but that was a signal I haven't really ever seen before, honestly.
Well, regardless, Mamaroneck's going to initiate the clear here.
Mamaroneck's had trouble on the clear so far today. This New Canaan ride's really been doing well.
A lot of hustle from the attackman. I believe did they signal offsides there, Chad?
I believe that was an offsides call, Jackson.
And so Busby will set up the clear for his team, and they'll take it the other way. Dylan Stevens will handle it. Gives it back to his goalie. Almost a risky pass there to Schmitz, but he handles it. And they will get a touch. As number 16, Griffin Gettner, who already has one goal today. Some new players there in for the Rams. This is Walker Blair dodging. Takes it down the right alley and feeds inside, but it's a bad pass intended for number 25, Matt Salmini. The ground ball, it's loose. And a flag thrown. I believe that one will be on the Rams, Chad. Loose ball push, possibly?
I don't think it's a loose ball. I think they called it a push with possession.
Push with possession.
Yeah. That's going to be a minute penalty for the Rams, I believe. 30 seconds. My apologies.
It'll be a 30-second penalty. I think that's number 92, Gray Tamasco, who will serve it for the Rams.
This is the first time we're going to see the man-down defense from the Rams this year. Last year they had a very good man-down defense team with short stick. Christian Sweeney was a major part of the clear. It's interesting to see if they'll be missing him this year.
Well, they have Barrett Schmitz out there, number 2, a stout defenseman. And just like that, Dylan Stevens turns over Mamaroneck, who completely failed to capitalize on that man-up opportunity.
Those are the type of plays you expect out of Dylan Stevens, so that's really why he was one of the top defenders in the state last year.
Exhibiting great stick skills there to just intercept that pass, got a stick in the passing alley, Coaches love to see that from their defenseman. And he takes it all the way across the field, and Coach Buzzio will use a timeout to match their personnel for trying to get that long stick out of there, get some middies on the field, and try to run out the rest of this penalty.
If you're the Rams, you really have to be happy about the way this game has gone so far. They've had countless opportunities that will eventually go in, and they've really been able to ride and force turnovers better than I think I've seen them do in a year or so.
I think they've played great today, Chad. You know, it's the opening game of the season. You don't really know how they're going to come out. Mamaroneck's obviously already played 2 games, so it's impressive to see the way New Canaan's really just brought it to Mamaroneck, played well offensively, rode on the clears well. A great game.
Yeah, and if you look at the 1 goal the Rams gave up, it was on silly mistakes. It was a lack of a slide, something that's easy to correct in the huddle, and it looks like they've been making these adjustments, and the man-down defense has already made a difference.
That's right, Chad. Definitely getting some of their younger players involved. We didn't know how they would perform. Knew they had a lot of talent from the underclassmen, but sometimes that might not translate on the field early in the season. They played well today. And with a guy like Glinsky, he's hard to stop. In your days as a defenseman, what do you think Busby's trying to communicate to his defense to stop a guy like that?
Well, our defense last year, at least, was always a big fan of trying to put as many bodies on the floor as possible. And we've already seen with Barrett Schmitz coming across the middle and hitting him like he does in football, that it's definitely a point of emphasis. Make this guy work for every goal. Make him really sweat going down the middle. And I think they've done a good job of that so far.
That's definitely right. Barrett Schmitz can really lay the hammer on an offensive player. He'll be playing football next year at Carnegie Mellon, I believe.
Yes, my roommate.
Oh.
Very exciting, yes.
Cognetta, Norton out there as the 2 middies for the Rams right now. Norton will start with the ball on the right side of the field. He gives it up to attacking Carter Connors, who begins to dodge here, takes it right down the alley, and an easy goal there for Carter Connors. Fake the goalie, hit it top shelf. Great shot there.
Those are the type of plays you expect from Carter when you, looks like they called him in the crease.
Oh, completely missed that. We call him in the crease. Interesting. Maybe that extra fake did not pay off for him. They waved the goal off. Dylan Stevens with some on-ball defense. Mamaroneck slowing things down here. It's Chambers, who dodging on Garcia.
This is not a situation you want to be in, Jackson. Oh, looks like they were able to jump it well.
Great job there by Dylan Stevens to recover. He was facing Martin at X. Now Tomasco, guarding number 23 here. Luke Brennan. Glinsky falls, and he gets stripped by Dylan Murray. Great defensive play. After Glinsky's first goal, they've just shut him down since then, Chad.
Yeah, it looks like he's running with a bit of a limp here, Jackson. I saw him grabbing at Dylan Murray's stick there. He might be a little frustrated.
And that's definitely something to watch as he runs off the field. Looks like he's limping a bit. And here's Michael Norton, who shoots, runs straight down the middle, gets stuffed by the goalie. It's an easy save.
It looks like they're shooting a lot of shots right at the goalie's stick today, and they really need to work on changing their plane more if they want to get these goals in the net.
That's right, Chad. A lot of stick side high. Nick Garcia gets beaten badly, but Cognetta recovers. And he'll match up here with number 5, Brennan. Chambers, rather.
It really looks like this New Canaan team's still really late on slides, allowing short sticks to play way more defense than they have in the past. Looks like it's going to be the Rams' ball.
That was nearly a dangerous situation. Martin had the ball at X, and he passed to a cutting Chambers, but it's a turnover. Norton takes it for the Rams. Gets it back to Carter Connors. who feeds Doster Kroll inside. And a nasty backhand shot. Oh my gosh, Chad.
Jackson, I did not know that Doster Kroll had all of this in him. Last year, he was one of those guys. He was running scout team, always doing what he could for the team. And now watching him score like that in such an electric fashion is really something amazing to watch. It's like we're watching a player come into his own.
That was a highlight reel right there, Chad. Caught the pass from Norton, backhand. Nothing the goalie could do there. That was pretty sick. Now, John Totaro take the face off.
If you're the Rams here, you have to keep momentum going. You need to win this face-off, and you have to be able to keep it up on the ground balls.
6.1 to go in the first quarter, so I don't know how much they'll be able to get going, but Totaro will certainly look to win this face-off. And Mamaroneck jumped, so New Canaan will pick it up. It's Griffin Gettner with 6.1 to try to get a shot on goal. And Crow does get a shot on goal, but it's an easy save for Mamaroneck's goalie here. Great start from the Rams, Chad. They're up 3-1 going into the second quarter. What do you think they need to continue to maintain their success?
So the Rams have been really aggressive today. They've been pushing the pace, really trying to get even defenders down there getting shots on goal like Dylan Murray. And if they can keep that going, if they can keep this pace up, it doesn't seem like the Mamaroneck team can keep up. They have all these good recruits, but it doesn't really look like they've gelled together quite yet in this game. So this team, this New Canaan team, while they can, needs to keep putting goals in the net because this Mamaroneck team is a spark plug waiting to go off with all these commits.
That's right, and it's going to be interesting to see what's going on with Glinski. We did see him sort of limp off the field after he took a hit from Dylan Stevens. I don't know if he will be returning. He's definitely very valuable for Mamaroneck. Their Harvard commit as their only goal tonight.
Yeah, Jackson, but this team has a lot of depth. You got two guys going to Providence. It should be really interesting to see how that connection works out for them. Usually when you see two players going to the same school, there's definitely a lot of player-to-player connection. It's just naturally built up. And I think maybe this Chambers-Rayner connection could turn into a thing for this Mamaroneck team.
That's right. The attackmen and the midfielder definitely have had some chemistry on some things and some cuts and passes tonight, but haven't fully connected. We saw a bad pass to Chambers that went off the top of his stick. Mamaroneck's got to clean a few little things up, and I think they will have some success offensively in the second quarter.
For sure, and it looks like we're having Brady Ocker come up to do the face-off here. Typically, you bring a LSM up to play on the face-off if you're really getting beat at the face-off X. This might be an opportunity for Mamaroneck to stop the momentum of this New Canaan team.
John Totaro has been great on the face-off X so far for the Rams, but we'll see how he fares here against the LSM. Totaro clamps and nearly wins the ground ball, but it gets batted out. Oh, and a slash is going to be called there on number 77, Colin Finnegan.
This is the second Finnegan to come through the lacrosse program. His brother Jack was also a defenseman, and I've played sports with both those guys. They're some very angry guys, and you can kind of see that on that slash there.
Yeah, definitely did not help his team, but it's a young player, it's a sophomore out there, and that's just kind of a rookie mistake. Can't be slashing people on ground balls. It's going to put your team at a disadvantage. But New Canaan was successful last time, man-down defense. Let's see what they can do here. Mamaroneck will swing it around. Schmitz, the short stick, operating in the middle of the field for the Rams. And a turnover. If Nick Garcia can scoop it up, which he does, and he gets it back to Dylan Stevens, who finds Busby. And another forced turnover there for the Rams on man down.
Yeah, this man-down defense is looking really good like last year. We'll see if they can keep it up.
It's looking sharp. And now Cognetta, dashing down the field, gets a touch, and just like that, Rams have another possession, easily running out that penalty.
You can see why Vin played running back for the team there.
He did it all himself, took Took the ball, cleared it, one man clear. And the penalty will release in 1 second. And New Canaan will be at full strength to go on the attack offensively. Norton and Connors working up top. Connors got a shorty on him. Makes 2 moves. Another. Feeds inside of Kroll, who the goalie saves his shot.
You got to love Justin Villeneuve getting the rebound there, though, to maintain possession.
That's right. Great awareness by Villeneuve. And Norton sets up for another dodge. Villeneuve working at X. The lefty. Gives it up to Cognetta, who rolls. And somehow still has the ball on his stick. And gives it up. And a goal.
That's a very nice goal by Ryan Conley. He might not have the full athlete build that you might expect from an attackman, but he has a lot of lacrosse sense, and the way he put that goal into the net off of a quick pass was really well done.
A nice goal there from Conley. He's going to be very good next year. It's only a junior. A lot of younger players contributing tonight. This afternoon, rather.
Goal for the Rams, number 9, Ryan Conley. Assist for.
They're still trotting out Brady Aker, the Cornell commit, and LSM from Mamaroneck to take the face-off. Facing up against Cam Wheatfelt. He's a pretty fierce face-off Fogo guy. He's very good.
Yeah, I would expect Brady Aker to stay at the face-off X almost the entire day with how many really good Fogos that this New Canaan team has.
And Wheatfeld just smokes him. And gives off the pass to Kroll, who rips one that is saved by Chris Matthews. Mamaroneck will clear here. It's turned over there by Rogoff on the pass. And New Canaan will scoop it up. Number 16, Griffin Gettner.
That's just another instance, Jackson, of this New Canaan offense being able to force turnovers in the ride and being able to get possession back to take pressure off the defense.
The New Canaan ride's been great today. Forced a lot of turnovers, as you said, creating opportunities for their offense. Coach Buzzy was definitely happy to see that. Villeneuve signals the cut from Salmini. And he dodges against the shorty. Might have gotten hit in the head there, but the refs didn't see it. Salmini and Gettner working with it. Now Conley. He's got a short stick. Working at X. Feeds inside. And its pass is mishandled there by Villeneuve. And Aker secures the possession from Mamaroneck. Flag on the field. That's another slash on New Canaan, I believe.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this New Canaan team is really slashing all that much today or if the refs are just a little flag happy, but it's definitely been a lot of penalties towards the Rams thus far today. Maybe it's just a product of their really aggressive play.
Yeah, a bit undisciplined tonight. First game of the season. Maybe trying to dust off some of those nerves, just slashing a bit too hard. But the man-down defense from the Rams has been really excellent. So it'll be interesting to see if Mamaroneck can finally capitalize on one of their opportunities.
Yeah, when your man-down defense is playing like this, you're definitely willing to take more risks with your stick as a defenseman and as an attackman riding.
That's right. Mamaroneck, who hasn't gotten anything going on man up so far, just kind of moving the ball around. Little box in one defense shown from the Rams. Schmidt's moving around in the middle. And a shot does not go on goal there. It was number 5, who is Rhett Chambers, the Providence commit. Chambers rips another one that misses. And it's recovered at X by number 31, Alex Martin. going to Penn next year. An excellent attackman. Martin gives it up. Mamaroneck struggling to find a good look. And that one is saved by Busby. Might have deflected off another player.
Jackson, that one has to hurt. Taking a shot like that from point-blank range is no fun.
Definitely not. But the penalty is now released, and Norton takes it the other way. Set up a Rams possession. Oh, with a great feed to Kroll, but nice defensive recovery there from Mamaroneck, who stopped Kroll from getting an easy shot off on the crease.
Michael Norton's really been fearless on the dodge thus far today. He's been dodging against long posts, which is typically not something you see from a midi. You typically look for some short stick matchups, but Norton doesn't really seem to care about where this kid's going to school.
And Norton's really been creating opportunities for his teammates. Some of Kroll's goals have come off a Norton dodge that really moved around the defense and set up a good opportunity. And a great look there for Vincognetta off the feed from Villeneuve. Great play there from the Rams to extend their lead to 4.
Yes, those are two of the only lefties that this New Canaan Rams team has. And it's great to see a senior-to-senior connection from Villeneuve to Vincognetta. I think every Rams goal has been assisted on today, which is something you typically don't see in lacrosse, but it's been really good for this Rams team.
And coming into this game, as we've been saying, we just did not know how this team would gel. These underclassmen, new players to varsity, that big class that graduated last year gone, but this team looks like they have great chemistry, Chad, and they're playing well together. Zataro will face off for the Rams. They no longer have Aker out there, I believe. And Canaan wins another face-off. Getner has a short stake matchup, but he'll pull it out. Canaan trying to set things up here. Kroll has a shorty on him. He passes it up. It's Carter Connors. Canaan waiting for the right opportunity here. Kroll feeds to Villeneuve, who takes a nice shot. Good look from him, but could not finish. There will be a timeout caused by Coach Buzzio. What do you think Coach Buzzio is going to try to instill in his team in this timeout, Chad?
So they've really been able to get these great matchups so far today. We saw Doster Kroll being able to dodge against the short stick midi, and that's definitely a matchup they're going to try and create. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do a little pick and roll action here, maybe even a pick and pop, as they say in basketball, and try and make it so you get a good matchup with one of your star attackmen like Carter Connors or Doster Kroll against a smaller short stick midi.
And Justin Villeneuve got a great look there at the right before the timeout. He just was unable to finish. New Canaan's ball movement was really paying off at the end there, and got a good look, but definitely need to finish those. It's still a pretty tight game, 5-1, anyone's game early in the game. New Canaan's got to keep it up.
You can notice that this New Canaan team's also been really confident so far today, only giving up one goal coming at the very beginning, going on a 5-0 run. They've really tried to maintain this momentum. You can see with the attack, the way they ride, they're really trying to keep possession and keep this Mamaroneck team from getting any momentum going, and they've done it very well thus far.
Yeah, New Canaan's defense has definitely shined tonight. 4 times they were man down, and none of the times Mamaroneck was able to capitalize. And 2 of the 4 times, New Canaan forced a very quick turnover.
Quick maths right there, Jackson. Very nice.
Thank you, Chad. Teams come back on the field after the timeout. New Canaan with the ball. The ball will start on the top right corner of the box with Getner. Swings it over to Norton. Norton gets a pick from Cognetta. Long pole switches on him. Villeneuve gets a nice attempt, and he snipes it top left corner. Nice shot there from Justin Villeneuve.
Villeneuve's a quiet guy, but we can see him really getting excited out there. When he can snipe top cheddar like that, you always got to get a little excited for a guy like Villeneuve.
He's one of the best catch and shoot shooters on this team. He caught that one. He's a lefty. That's exactly his shot there. High to low, able to rip that one, Chad.
He's been doing that since we were in the 3rd grade, man. I'm not shocked to see it.
That's exactly right. Wheatfeld back out here.
Looks like we have William Hayes running the LSM reps for this one. He's a freshman. It's very interesting to see how he'll be playing today as well.
Hayes, and I believe that's Schmitz on the other wing. Very defensive look here from the Rams. Wheatfeld to face off. He's got quick hands. And Aker wins the clamp, I believe. But the ball's still loose. And it is battled for and won by Dylan Murray, who's in trouble here. Gets it off to Wheatfeld. Oh, and a bad pass there from Nick Garcia. But ball's still loose, and Schmitz gets it. Schmitz is just a tank out there, Chad.
He's a very gritty player, Jackson. I always see him watching film before games, always willing to run around, make the plays other guys aren't willing to make. When you have guys like him and Norton on the field, you know you're going to be able to get ground balls.
He's a super athletic player, very strong. He's a great player, Chad. And now Kroll rips it. I don't know how he got so much velocity on that shot with that little windup, but New Canaan maintains the possession. Carter Connor's got it at X.
Kroll has been fearless in terms of shooting today. I believe he has 5 shots and it's already the 2nd quarter.
Coach Buzzio's team definitely has a bright future with these sophomores, Chad. Now it's Blair down the alley, and an ugly shot. About 5 yards off the goal there.
That's Walker Blair's first shot of the day. It's always nice to get a little warm-up going, and then we'll see what he does going on, but that was definitely an ugly one.
Almost looked like wasn't used to his stick. Bit too much whip on his pocket or something. Don't know what happened there. But Salmini feeds. Kroll rips it. Top cheddar. Another goal for the Rams.
And that's a hat trick for Kroll already today. We talked about the 6 goals he had per game in their exhibition games coming into this, and he's already keeping pace with 3 goals in the first half. This Mamaroneck team clearly was not ready for Doster Kroll.
Doster Kroll is a menace out there. 7-1. I did not see this coming, Chad. I thought this was going to be a really close game. So far, the Rams are absolutely putting it to the Tigers.
Well, when you see all these recruits' names on a list, you really think, how is this team going to be able to come out and play against such a talent-heavy team? But the Rams seem to be really well put together and really have a lot of energy in every play.
That's right. New Canaan is just really gelling as a team. They don't have one D1 commit in their senior class, but they are dominating the Tigers. It's Cognetta. Will take it the other way. And he takes the shot and misses, but another goal for Kroll. He's dominating.
What can we say about Kroll right now, Jackson? This has been a crazy game for him thus far. 4 goals as a sophomore in his first game in the first half. This has been ridiculous, especially one coming off a rebound like that. Really shows a lot of composure.
He is taking over. Off the rebound from Cognetta. Cognetta looked like he had a nice shot. Good save there from Matthews, but Doster Kroll is everywhere tonight, this afternoon.
So if you're Chip Buzzio right now, you just tell your guys to keep it going. But for Jeff Barnard, what do you think he's telling his team to do right now?
Chad, I feel like defensively is where they've struggled the most. They've just let up so many opportunities for the Rams. But then again, their man-up offense has also been holding them back. There's kind of problems on both sides of the ball for the Tigers.
They seem almost shocked by how good this Rams team has been playing. And I don't know if they're going to be able to recover from this. I don't want to jinx anything. I don't want to do the classic announcer jinx. But they really look like they came off the bus a little slow. And they seemed shocked. It might be a little bit of a hangover from that Briarcliff game.
No, I think you might be right, Chad. And the Rams just look fresh, energized, ready to start their season. People coming into the season did not think this team would be that good this year. But from the start of their opening game, they've looked very sharp, Chad. Aker will come out again to face off. Has not had much success, but we'll try him again against Cam Wheatfelt.
Well, with the way this Rams team has been able to get ground balls today, almost at will, it makes sense that Brady Aker hasn't been able to get quite as many face-off wins as you'd typically expect from an LSM.
That's right. Wheatfelt will look to continue his hot streak from the face-off X. Wheatfelt wins the clamp and easily scoops it to himself, takes it the other way. Aker hacking at him, gets a touch, and gives it up to the midi, Michael Noren, and he'll run off the field.
You have to believe Brady Aker must be pretty tired at this point. It seems like they've had him take almost every LSM run, but maybe that endurance is what's making it so he can go to Cornell this year.
Maybe so, Chad. Norton will slow it down as Finnegan runs off, so Carter Connors can join the offense.
Finnegan was doing some loop-de-loops there to maybe juke out his defenseman on when running off. That was truly something to watch.
Truly, Chad. And now Carter Connors, he's got a short stick on him. He'll dodge from the wing. Draws the double. Shoots. It's loose in front of the goal. Goalie got run over. And it looks like it'll be staying with the Rams as Carter Connors chased it to X. Carter Connors tries to feed inside to Villeneuve, who can't handle it. And this is going to be over and back here.
It looked almost like both sides were shocked to be starting with the possession that quickly.
Yeah, that was a wild sequence. Looks like the goalie got run over. Some of the Mamaroneck players wanted a penalty. Not sure what happened there. Mamaroneck tries to slow it down. Struggling to make some basic passes, but we got a minute 30 left in this half. Definitely need a spark. Chambers. And a bad pass. It's going the other way. Scooped up by Norton, and he's got a fast break. But he is unable to convert. Had a good opportunity there. Now Cognetta rips it, top shelf.
And that was all set up by a ground ball by William Hayes, a freshman, being able to dish it out and get the ball to Vin Cognetta. That was an awesome goal by Cognetta. Great to see the Rams up 9-1 right now. It really looks like it's been an all-around effort too.
That was almost an ugly sequence there. Ball was all over the place, but probably not how Coach Buzzio drew it up. But Cognetta finished, top shelf. What more can you ask for?
Jackson, a great coach once said, I can't tell you who the coach was. It was me and Y-Ball. But you got to be able to win the ugly sequences. If you're going to win games, you got to be able to win the ugly sequences, and that's what the Rams have done thus far.
And you're a very successful Y-Ball championship winning coach, so I'm sure those words have some meaning to them.
Truly, of course.
Tataro face off against Aker, and he smokes him, taking it the other way. He runs through a player. Don't see that much from John Tataro. Now Villeneuve. Approaching under 40 seconds left to go in the half. And Canaan going for the last shot here. Trying to run out his last 30 seconds before they commit to a dodge. Blair and Salmini, the two juniors, working the ball up top. Villeneuve feeds inside to Salmini. He's got a good look, and he puts it right at the goalie. Poor shot there from him.
Salmini's a bigger guy. This is one of his first games. He's really just trying to look to get into his own. I'm not surprised to see him miss a shot like that, but it's definitely great to be seeing him shooting.
That's right. Love to see the confidence from a player next time. He's got to stick that one, though. And a great opportunity there for Kroll, but bounces it over the goal. And that'll do it for the first half of play. We go into halftime. The Rams 9, the Tigers 1. Great start from the Rams, Chad.
Yeah, Jackson, I wasn't sure what I was going to see from this Rams team today. We got a lot of young guys out there playing, but guys like Doster Kroll, Dylan Stevens has really been playing well, and William Hayes has also been shockingly playing well too. And then with that senior presence from Vincognetta, even Villeneuve, who didn't have varsity reps last year, it's been a really good game for the Rams so far.
Great play from Busby, too, only letting in 1 goal in that first half, and there were many shots from Mamaroneck. So great overall start from the Rams.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they're able to keep this up too. It hasn't been one player doing it all for them, even though Doster Kroll does have 4 goals. It's been a real committee achievement,
Scoring
which
by
is something
committee.
we haven't seen in years. With Chris Canet here and guys like O'Connell and even Kraus, it has really been focused more on like one player offense, and this year it's completely different.
That's right, Chad.
Yeah, so
We would like to thank all of our sponsors for making this live stream possible. Thank you to our platinum sponsors.
thank you to Walter Stewart's, the best grocery store in town if you ask me.
Excellent groceries there, great food.
I always find it to be really fresh too.
Yeah, very fresh, Chad. It's a fresh local market.
Indeed. Rambuya and Harrow, the business of real estate. Their real estate office has really been great for this town of New Canaan, really selling a lot of houses. Gotta love what they do.
Carl Chevrolet. What better place to get a car than Carl Chevrolet,
I got
Chad?
my 1999 red Ford F-150 from Carl Chevrolet, and let me tell you, it's never done me wrong. Great service there.
Great place, great service. This is 1927, Chad.
The pride of New Canaan. Thank you to William J. Fessler's Dental Services. I know when I want to get my teeth clean, I go to William J. Fessler.
Obviously, those pearly whites had to come from William. Who else?
Thank you to the gold sponsors, and thank you to the Renaissance Partners, LLC. Their residential construction has really built up this town.
They built some sturdy buildings.
And Performance Optimal Health. I remember when their trainers were here, and they always treated us with great respect.
Couldn't have optimal health without them. That's for sure.
I know I wouldn't be healthy without them.
Thank you to all of our sponsors for your support.
And we'll be back for the second half.
Welcome back, everyone, to the second half of action. New Canaan Rams, Mamaroneck Tigers. Rams up 9-1 going into this second half here. Wheatfeld out there to take the face off for the Rams. Wheatfeld has been on a nice streak. Both of the Rams Fogos have been on a great streak tonight, him and John Totaro. Mamaroneck really struggling on the face-off X.
Yeah, you got to believe they're missing Henry Rayner, the 6'4", 210-pound midi that they had out there earlier in the game. It appears that he might have been injured. We see him with his helmet off on the sideline here. We couldn't get any extra information on his injury at the break, but they're definitely missing him. A real big presence like that is something your team needs.
That's right, Chad. Definitely missing him. New Canaan, they're keeping their long stick out, but no, now he'll cross back over and Vin will walk across half. New Canaan sets it up offensively. Carter Connors passes it to Villanueva to X. Kroll rips a shot. Bit of a wild shot there, but doesn't go on goal. But the Rams will keep the ball.
I mean, when you have a hot hand like Doster Kroll has had today, he's definitely felt confident shooting with over 9 shots this early on in the game.
When you have 4 goals already, you definitely have the green light, so he can shoot whenever he wants. Now it's Connolly. Looking for a feed inside. Tries to get it to Kroll, who can't scoop it. But Cognetta scoops the ground ball and shoots it wildly over the cage.
So you got to love a shot like that, though. That's a possession shot. Being able to get a ground ball like that, running through traffic, you just want to get something near the net. And if it goes over, you know you have your guys there to back you up.
That's right. No downside on that one. And Villeneuve will kick it up to Connors. And now Norton dodges lefty down the alley, shoots it low, misses. He's a pretty good right-handed shooter, but that left-handed shot bit off there. Kroll, the hot hand, dodges from X. Tries to feed it inside there to Connolly, but it bounces away. He recovers it himself.
Yeah, this Rams team has really been able to keep possession here today. They've had a couple of really bad sequences where it looks like they're kind of fumbling around, but they've still been able to keep possession, and I think that's really what's helping them win this game right now.
That's right, and Canaan moving the ball well. Doster Kroll pulls it out. And now Carter Connor's got a short stick on him. He's going to dodge. No, but he doesn't. He tries to feed it across to Norton, who was open, but pass is batted down.
That's a typical play from Carter Connors, though. Not so much the turnover, but he's always looking for that hard feed, always looking to make the hard play. And sometimes it works out, sometimes he makes a crazy play, and other times that happens. But the Rams are definitely willing to put up with that for the production that he's able to put up most games.
That's right. Now Brennan's got the ball at X, guarded by Gray Damasco. Swings it over to Chambers. Mamaroneck working the ball around the perimeter.
It really looks like they're using Jack Ramsey here to replace Henry Rayner. Maybe it's his size, or maybe he's just the next best midi on the team. But he's really been a presence here today. We saw him run over Vin Cognetta earlier, and it looks like they want him to be the guy dodging right now.
Yes, and he will pass it over to Glinsky. Good to see him back in the game after he limped off earlier. But the Harvard commit looks to go to work on Dylan Murray. Instead gives it up to X. It's Chambers dodging on Michael Norton from X. Takes it with the right hand, and a great save there by Busby. Vin Cognetta there to lay him out after the shot attempt.
I mean, I think we all know what position Vin played. He was a very good linebacker here at New Canaan, even a running back too. And you could see just how hard he hit there and how that football skills really translate to the lacrosse field.
Really reminds me of a Bobby Wagner type player. Norton, the wild behind the back, trying to save it. Mamaroneck will take over.
Jackson, that's a play I've never really seen before. A behind-the-back pass into his own bench. while running out of bounds. It had a lot of velocity on it. It was almost impressive.
Definitely did have some velocity on it. Almost saved it. If it stayed in bounds, might have saved the team with possession, but instead Glincy's taking it the other way. He's guarded by Murray, a very quick defender. Good with the stick too. Canaan's defense, who's been excellent tonight, only letting up 1 goal. Now we'll see a dodge here, and he smokes Barrett Schmitz. Rare to see that happen, but he also smokes the shot.
Yeah, it's weird to see Barrett Schmitz going out so far. I believe Coach Carrozza there was telling him to slough in a little bit more so that he doesn't have to worry about as many moves coming from Ramsey.
That's right. Now Glinsky going to consider dodging on Murray, but Murray was in great positioning there, and he kicks it over to Chambers. Great defense there from Schmitz on Ramsey. Schmitz switches, but he switches late, and so Glinsky gets a shot off, but Busby makes a good save.
Barrett Schmitz seems to be really not scared of anyone. We see him pushing down Galinsky there. He gave up that bad dodge, but you really see him bouncing back.
Great defense there from Schmitz. Nothing to fault there. Prevented his team from scoring, and Busby was there to make a pretty easy save. Gettner can't handle the pass. Bad pass there from Schmitz, but it's going the other way. Chambers and Garcia is trying to recover. Both teams recover nicely, and Chambers will slow it down. Get a settled offensive possession.
I'm surprised to see Chambers slow it down there. When you're down 8 goals like this and you have a transition ability right there, and you're a guy that's really able to put up goals, he is going to Providence, as we know. I'm shocked to see him not take it to the net when he had that kind of setup.
Right, Chad. I think I would like to see him take it to Nick Garcia there, who's kind of straggling. It might have been a one-on-one opportunity with no slide coming. A nice roll dodge by number 23 there, Luke Brennan, but it's saved by Busby. The ball is loose. Bodies are on the ground. Scooped up by Tomasco, puts it in the crease for Busby. Great awareness by him. And I believe they call Buchanan ball on a loose ball push.
It was either a loose ball push or they called in the goalie going in and out of the crease. That might have been the possible call.
Oh,
but either way, the possession still results for Mamaroneck.
Mamaroneck takes over, not New Canaan.
It looks like Mamaroneck's going to try and dodge through their attack here. They don't have many of their top middies on the field right now. There's no Ramsey. There's no Galinsky. So I wouldn't be surprised if Chambers scores here.
Chambers instead gives it up to Brennan, who's working on Tomasco in the crease. Now swim dodge there, but it's called off. Oh, for a Ward, so no goal there.
See, I'm surprised to see a Ward there. It looked like a really well-executed swim move by Brennan, I believe it was. Might have been someone else, but yeah, shocked to see a turnover.
That's a call you don't see much in high school lacrosse. A Ward called on the swim move, but no goal. New Canaan will take over. Costly Chonin for there from Mamaroneck, down 8 in the second half.
We see Walker Blair with the ball here. He had that ugly shot previously. I wouldn't be surprised if he dodges here. He's a really strong, fast kid. Puts up some of the highest bench numbers and hand clean numbers on the football team. But it looks like they're trying to set things up with Carter Connors here.
That's right. Blair definitely an athletic kid. Definitely a lot of room for him to develop on the lacrosse field. And he could be a really strong player for this team in the future. But in the meantime, one of their best scorers, Carter Connors, takes the ball to X. He's got a short stick on him. Usually a cue that he will be dodging. Looks to feed. Making moves. 2 on him. Does it all himself, and a nasty goal from Carter Connors.
That is a classic Carter Connors play right there. No matter how you look at it, you see he got double teamed. He does not care. I've seen that kid spin, fall down on the ground, throw it behind his back, and somehow score. That was truly an electric play out of Carter.
He's been doing that since the 5th grade, Chad. Some classic Carter Connors. 4-move dodge. Score.
Rams goal scored by Carter Connors.
Totaro comes out for the face-off. facing off against number 12 from Mamaroneck. That's Will Shalom. Taro wins the faceoff, continuing the Rams' domination from the X. Villeneuve rolls a pass to Cognetta. Got an opportunity to dodge here on a short stick. And a crazy attempt and 2 saves there by Matthews. A wild sequence for the Rams. Cognetta took one, batted out, and another opportunity there for Connolly.
Although this game is 10-1, I think Matthews has actually been having a very decent game today. He's been able to make a lot of doorstep saves that you typically don't expect out of a goalie, and he might be the only reason they're still in this game right now.
That's right, Chad. Definitely some great opportunities there. A lot of shots Matthews been able to save. His defense kind of been letting him down. And that was a bad shot there. Number 31, Alex Martin, the senior captain.
It looks like Dylan Stevens is not on the field for the Rams right now. It's an interesting sub to see from Coach Buzzio. It might be that they're winning by so much, but maybe it is an injury. Who knows? But that's definitely going to be a piece they're missing out there. And it really changes up all the matchups. When you don't have your top defenseman on this field and you have all these high-level commits, you're having a guy that might not be as good covering someone that might be tremendously good.
Another sophomore, Finnegan, will look to fill the void left by Stevens. In the meantime, the New Canaan defense is looking pretty good. Finnegan on ball on Glinsky. Will be a switch onto him by number 20, Teddy Rosen. And now it's at X with number 31, Alex Martin, who rips it.
See, the Rams need a slide there. That was a great goal by Alex Martin, I believe. He's a pen commit, definitely a very good player, but when you have a short stick defensive midi like Walker Blair guarding him, your defense has to be prepared. You have to have a long stick that's willing to go slide to him, and that's just not what the Rams had. I think it was Alex Martin on the goal there. I might be incorrect, though.
Alex Martin with a nice snipe top shelf. As you mentioned, the slide was late, but definitely something the Tigers needed down big in the third quarter, Chad. And it's Wheatfeld to face off for the Rams.
What a perfect face-off win, going right back to Barrett Schmitz, knowing where his teammate was, and it really shows the level of trust that this Rams team has in their defensive midi. Defensive specialist, one might say, Barrett Schmitz.
That's right, Barrett Schmitz rocking the leg sleeve. He's looking good and playing good. Mr. Reliable for this team. It's Michael Norton tempting his defender. Baker probably can't handle Norton's speed. Norton rips down the alley, drops his defender, and then gives it off to Justin Villeneuve.
I really love this attitude that this Rams team is playing with. They don't care that Brady Afer is going to Cornell. They're willing to dodge at him no matter what. And you can see he stumbled there. Anyone's impervious to going down at any moment. And the Rams have really been taking advantage of that. They've really played with no fear of any of these commits today.
That's right. Never really see fear from Michael Norton. He's not afraid to dodge on anyone. As him and Vin Cognetta will play a little two-man game here. The top of the box. Gets a pick from Cognetta, but gives it up to Villeneuve. Villeneuve draws the double and gives it up to Connolly, who gets dropped by Aker. And Aker is dropped then by Carter Connors. New Canaan looks to set it up here. Norton's triple teamed. Keeps the ball on his stick. Ball's on the ground. Cognetta recovers it.
It appears that Ryan Conley does not have his second cleat right now. As a starting attackman, he's been nursing a leg injury so far this year, and he's willing to stay on the field with one cleat on. Jackson, what do you think about that?
It's very interesting. See, he's playing without a shoe, and his sock is about to fall off too. but Carter Connors is not concerned. He's got a short stick on him, and he's going to try to dodge. But he falls and recovers. Looks to pass. Gets it inside to Cognetta, who misses a shot. One-on-one with the goal. You got to finish those, Chad.
Yeah, I was really hoping they were going to feed Ryan Conley there. I feel like a cleatless goal would have been electric for our call, but sadly, we did not get to see that. And hopefully Ryan Conley gets to put back on his shoe now.
I think he will have an opportunity to do that. The third quarter coming to the close here. Interesting quarter there, rather. Mamaroneck was able to score another goal, but their defense was really being attacked hard by the Rams, who got a lot of opportunities and did not capitalize on many of them, but some good opportunities, some things to build on.
Yeah, the Mamaroneck defense has really kind of been like Swiss cheese today. There's been holes everywhere that the Rams have really been able to exploit. Matthews has been able to make some saves, but this Mamaroneck defense, I really expected more from them with a guy going to Cornell and then a couple of larger guys out there. They've had their double teams get split, which is something that's almost unforgivable in lacrosse. And it just doesn't look like this Mamaroneck team really knows what hit them.
I mean, on paper, you might expect Mamaroneck defensively to be a more physical team given their size, but New Canaan's smaller players have just brought it to them with John Totaro, Barrett Schmitz, Carter Connors laying people on the ground today.
Yeah, it's really been – this is almost what I expected from this New Canaan team on defense. I knew they were going to be a really good defensive team. There are a lot of returning players. Myself, I tore my ACL. I played last year, but I was out. But there were definitely a lot of sophomores, a lot of juniors who I knew could really step up and played a lot last year even. And so I knew they were going to be good, but they've been really good today. They've been able to shut down some really good players, and this is definitely something to build on for the rest of the season as well.
That's right, Chad. It's hard to leave or to fill the void left behind by Chad Russo, but they definitely have some underclassmen depth, and they're trying to do it.
Oh, you flatter me, Jackson. Oh, my goodness.
As Totaro wins another face-off and then gets tripped, and a flag is down, but he maintains possession, so they'll get a free play here. Totaro! Oh, he misses it.
You gotta love your Fogo being willing to go to the net like that. You see him throw a fake pass, maybe a fake shot. I don't know what to call that, but that is the kind of gutso we like to see from a player like him.
We'd love to see that from John Totaro or Fogo, knowing he has a free play, taking initiative, going to the cage. But now we'll get to see man up from New Canaan for the first time this season, as Mamaroneck will face a 1-minute penalty.
This is a point where the Rams kind of struggled last year. It was always kind of changing around how the man-up was going to be run. And it really seemed like they came into their own in the man-up at the end of the season. But as the season was slowly cut short, we didn't get to see the Rams really finish it off. This might be their opportunity, too.
That's right. The two lefties, Villeneuve and Cognetta, moving it. Kroll begins to cut inside. Rams begin to set up their play here. Carter Connors is looking for an opening. Norton passes to Kroll, who rips a shot. And Villeneuve is there. Scoop it back up. 20 seconds left until this penalty releases. See if the Rams try to force anything. And they do, and it's turnover. Good defense there from Mamaroneck.
Yeah, the Rams didn't really ever threaten Mamaroneck's defense, though. There wasn't enough movement. I didn't really see any rotations going on from the Mamaroneck defense. I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams looked for a lot more movement as the season goes on their man-up, because that was a little bit too slow to be effective.
Agreed, Chad. And a great ground ball there by Dylan Stevens, as Mamaroneck turns it over, and just like that, it's back in the stick of Vin Cognetta. He's looking to set it up.
You got to believe Jeff Barnard's been really disappointed with the way this Mamaroneck team's been clearing today. We know that their defense had some of the less commits in terms of the talent on their team, but with an LSM like Brady Aker, you would expect them to be able to at least get up and down and transition a little bit more than they have.
That's right, Chad. Another poor turnover. I mean, they were man down there, but I don't really think that justifies trying to clear it by just hurling it down the middle of the field. That's going to be turned over against a defense like New Canaan every time.
Yeah, that was really confusing for me. For the way that they've played so far today, Mamaroneck really seems to have no regard for maintaining possession, and it's really seemed to get them today. That's part of the reason why you see the Rams being able to put up 10 goals to 2 in the way they have.
Great performance here from the Rams defense, at least. Only allowing 2 goals, as you just said. Very impressive from them. 10 minutes and 32 to go, Chad. Do you think New Canaan's going to take their foot off the gas a bit offensively and just try to maintain long possessions, try to run out some of this clock?
I think that's always a danger in every sport, is when you're up this big, how do you control that lead, and how do you make it so you don't take your foot off the gas? Because, look, we know this Mamaroneck team can put in goals, and they have this year. They were able to put up 13 goals against Sachem North and 10 goals against Briarcliff. Briarcliff is no slouch of a team, but they were still able to put up these kind of goals against them. So with a team like Briarcliff, you really want to be able to keep your foot on the gas. I would expect the Rams to score as many goals as they can, because that's also just the way this season's been going thus far.
Yeah, definitely want to get their first win with an exclamation point if they can. And if that means putting their foot on the gas and doing everything they can to run up this lead, I think that's a good decision for Coach Buzzio. Norton with a nice dodge. Got some space there, but couldn't do anything with it. As Rogoff slashes him on the helmet, but there's no call.
That was the first electric play we've seen from Rogoff today, but it looks like he was unable to pick up the ground ball, which you really expect a defender to be able to do. It's a major part of the position.
And Dylan Stevens taking it to Brady Aker. He's trying to go coast to coast, and he gives it up to Chambers, who feeds, and a great save by Holden Busby. An absolutely amazing save by him.
With the way this game's been going, you would have expected Holden Busby to fall asleep in the cage, be a little bit slower, but he was able to make a really great save there.
Great job by him. Luke Brennan had a golden opportunity, one-on-one with Busby, but Busby was able to get that, and that's a hard save too.
That's really been the story of the game thus far for through this whole entire game for Mamaroneck. They've had opportunities, but they just haven't been able to execute on it.
That's right, and Glinsky clears, so Mamaroneck will get a second chance. As Mamaroneck desperately needs a goal now. Under 9 minutes. Martin.
This has happened a lot for the Rams today, where the Mamaroneck's been able to catch him sleeping and been able to get a guy open at X with no one guarding him. This is a terrible position to be in as a defense.
Definitely not something you want as a defenseman, but Dylan Stevens was able to make a quick recovery and catch up to Martin the second he left X.
That's a play only Dylan Stevens could really make there. The Rams played good defense behind him, but he was able to make it so that that shot wasn't nearly as well executed as Martin would have liked it to be.
And now here's Glinsky as Murray will force him to the left. And a nice look there. It's Chambers getting his second goal of the day.
See, Chambers is a smaller guy there, but he was really able to make a quick move, and those were the kind of goals we expected from them today that we just haven't seen so far, but that was really well executed. It might have been that it was Teddy Rosen's one of his first moments in the game. He lost leverage, not something you want to do as a young defender, but I wouldn't be surprised if Teddy Rosen recovers and gets back in there at some point.
That's right. Mamaroneck's offense almost lulled the Rams to sleep there. It was kind of a slow, methodical possession, and then kind of when you last expected it, they fed Chambers inside and an easy look. Canaan looking to keep up their face-off streak here with Cam Wheatfeld. And he does. He wins the clamp and the ground ball.
The way the Fogos for the Rams have been able to control these ground balls today is definitely one of the reasons the Rams are up so big right now. They've been able to keep possessions far better than any Fogo I've seen in the past couple years. And I don't think they've lost more than 1 or 2 face-offs, period, today.
This Rams program historically has had a lot of depth at the Fogo position. Almost every year they have 2 great Fogos that they can interchange and maintain a dominant streak from the face-off X.
Yeah, I believe this Ram team has 6 Fogos on the varsity roster, which given it's a 48-man roster is definitely a lot. Typically you see only 2 Fogos per team.
Whenever one Fogo's not scoring, the other one will. And there is the goal from Ryan Connolly. Roll dodge to his right hand, bounces it right past the goalie, and extends the Rams' lead to 8.
All Conley needed was to get his cleat back, and he's already back out there making great plays. That's exactly what I expect from Conley. Last year, definitely more of a, he would come in, he was on the second attack line. He really learned from those guys last year, and you can see it in the way he plays. He plays a lot like Callum Wood did almost.
Really coming to his own this year. Definitely needed that cleat to stop on a dime, roll back, and hit that shot, but great play from Connolly.
I cannot emphasize enough the importance of that second cleat.
It's really important, Chad. Don't know how you would be cutting on a turf field with your bare foot, but Connolly was looking good without the cleat.
Let me tell you, Jackson, it can get slippery out there. I should know. That's how I lost my knee. And seeing a guy out there, I know the importance of cleats.
Yes, you do, Chad. You broke the sack record for New Canaan football this season, so you definitely know a thing or two about cleats and traction.
Indeed. But Optimal Health, they got me right, Jackson, and I'm very happy to support them on this broadcast.
That's right, but it's looking like New Canaan's defense is doing a great job of filling the void you left behind defensively. Dylan Stevens has played electric today, as has Gray Tomasco and Nick Garcia.
We expected that out of Dylan Stevens. I believe he was a second-team all-state player last year. Maybe it was all-FCAC. I could be mistaken. But to see that out of a freshman, we knew he was going to come back as a sophomore, especially it being a recruiting year for him. When he goes into his junior year, he will be a heavily recruited player. You can really see that he knows what he's doing out there, and he's really kept good command of this Rams team. And it looks like they're making a change at Fogo, bringing in number 10 for Mamaroneck. Yeah, definitely a big change for them.
That's right, and going back to what you said about Dylan Stevens, I mean, normally you don't want to hear too much about a defenseman because that means they're getting scored on. But with a player as good as he is, he's just out there making highlight reels, Chad.
I believe he let in 1 goal last year, and it was only to Matthew Menikis, who is a highly recruited Loyola commit out of Darien.
That's right. And now Totoro will try to settle it down, possibly give the ball to a midfielder,
I see
tackler.
Barrett Schmitz cutting down the middle, wide open.
Schmitz definitely would have finished that one. He's a great scorer, so Villeneuve missed an opportunity, but Villeneuve has a golden opportunity, and he snipes it just past the right side of the goal. He really likes to go back to that left hand, Chad. I think if he'd kept it in his right, he might have scored there.
Jackson, I don't think I've ever seen Justin Villeneuve shoot with his right hand. There's a reason he's the lefty attackman on this team, and he really plays that role well. But it would be really nice for him to be able to go 2 hands as well.
Doster Kroll, who's shifty, rips the shot, and he gets ricocheted. But Mamaroneck's definitely got to pick up the pace here. They're down 8, 6.5 to go.
It looks like Chambers was trying to take advantage of the speed that he has over Nick Garcia, but it really seems like they've slowed it down too much. I'm shocked they haven't taken it to the cage more.
That's right. Nick Garcia's done a pretty nice job tonight on Chambers. He's a real fundamental player. And now, Dylan Stevens will defend Martin, giving him no room to operate. And they'll feed it back to Chambers at X. And an easy opportunity Brennan would have had, but he did not catch the pass, and Gettner picks it up and takes it the other way.
I think that's the second opportunity we've seen Brennan blow today. But you can really see he hustled to get Gettner out of bounds there, but it looks like the Rams might have gotten the timeout in time.
I think they might have, Chad. Gettner was fully trapped there, triple teamed on the sidelines, but Coach Buzzio was able to call the timeout, and he'll be able to talk things over before the Rams pick up another possession with 5 minutes, 37 seconds to go in this one. What do you think Coach Buzzio's saying to his team at a time like this, Chad? Up big, 4th quarter, a few minutes to go.
This is typically, when I was in the huddle, this was group high five time. There was definitely a lot of keeping, hey, we got to win this game. We got to keep things up, keep things going. But you can tell that the team's really excited, and he wants to keep up that excitement. He doesn't want to beat the guys down too much for silly mistakes. And you definitely want to get younger players out there even, so you can just get a little more experience on the team.
Definitely. They're going to want to keep their foot on the pedal, but the same time, maybe give some other younger guys a look and show that they can hold their own in a varsity game.
And you got to believe Buzzio wants to really make an emphasis here. There's a little bit of a Connecticut-New York rivalry in lacrosse. It's almost an unspoken one, per se. And a lot of times they say that Connecticut teams are soft and things like that. So maybe Buzzio really wants to run this Mamaroneck team into the ground.
That's right. And Incognito will take it. Top right corner of the box and feed it over to Gettner. Noren's looking to go immediately. Feed it inside to Connolly, who mishandled it, picked it back up, and then bounced it over the cage.
This Rams team has always had a backup today. It must have been a point made by Coach Rushton to really make it so the Rams always had someone to back up a shot. They're really emphasizing maintaining possession this year.
Great communication there from the attackman, always ready to chase a shot. As we see Carter Connors chase that shot off the miss from Villeneuve. Carter Connors ripping around X. Feeds it off to Connolly rather, who scores another one from him.
See, those two guys, Conley and Carter Connors, they had a great connection this year in football. They were the scout team players. They were always there to really hype up the team, really bring energy to everyone. And you can see the connection right there. It's almost like this Mamaroneck team didn't know what happened. That is truly going to be a connection to watch this year. Carter Connors to Ryan Conley.
And going into this game, not many people would have predicted we'd be seeing a 12-3 score and a Rams lead in the fourth quarter. This has just been a great start from the Rams and what we thought would be a very evenly matched contest. Wheatfeld is tripped, and it'll be a Rams possession.
This Mamaroneck team's really just been awful at the face-off X today. You can see getting penalties like that, even if it doesn't result in a flag, it's just something you can't really do as a team if you're down this big.
That's right. It's really been poor facing off today from Mamaroneck. It's part of the reason they have had pretty much been trailing for the entire game. Buchanan's got the third midi line in there, giving some other players some experience right now. You see Travis Sturkey with the ball. Tries to feed it inside and turns it over. But it's recovered by Carter Connors. Connors tries to feed it. Tomasco tries to save the over and back and does not. So Mamaroneck's got an opportunity here. Bit of some sloppy play there from the Rams on the other end of the field.
You gotta love Tomasco still rushing down the field this late into the game after playing a full game and still trying to maintain possession for the team, even in one that's not close like this.
Coaches love to see hustle like that. Tomasco's a great defender, great teammate. He's a real asset to this team.
I think seeing him guard Alex Martin right now when Dylan Stevens is not in the game is a really intriguing matchup for the Rams. It really shows that they have a lot of faith in him, maybe even as the second defender on this team.
That's right, Chad. And a great save there made by the goalie, which was number 12, Matthew Mazabras. So they sub Busby out, and Mazabras promptly makes a great save. Carter Connors with another hit there.
Yeah, Carter's really been throwing his body around today. It's something really typical of Carter, but still, this many hits from him, it's almost like he's playing safety again like he did for the Rams this fall.
Reminds me of a one Cam Chancellor.
Oh no, Jackson, that might be a little bit of an overstatement. I'd give him an Earl Thomas, maybe.
Okay. Great defense here from Rosen. Mamaroneck probably knowing this one's out of reach, but still working the ball around. Trying to create an opportunity. And an ugly shot there from Martin.
That's great defense by Tomasco there. He got a very nice lift on the bottom of the stick of Martin, and it really altered that shot.
Definitely great defense. And another turnover. That one is on number 25, Jack Ramsey, who threw the ball away. And that will be scooped up by Mike O'Day. Gives it up to Rosen to initiate a clear here. Uday working up the right sideline. In need of some help here. Not very confident with the ball, and he's tripped. But no, they don't call it. Some sloppy play here with a minute and a half to go. Ref didn't want to call that trip.
Mike O'Day is a guy everyone really loves on the team. It's sad to see him lose the ball like that, but I wouldn't be shocked if he gets maybe another opportunity to clear. He might even take it straight to the net with the way his personality is.
Definitely nice to see a senior getting some minutes late in the game. And a great defensive play there by Teddy Rosen to bat the ball down. And Blair picks it up. He'll run the clear.
You can really see Teddy Rosen is a guy that's trying to get more minutes as the season goes on, really showing great effort here in the final minutes with the opportunities he has.
And Blair clears the ball. It's a solo show from him. And the Rams will look to run out their last minute. So, Chad, Rams are going to win this game by a big margin. What do you think the biggest things for them were to kind of surprise everyone with this big win over Mamaroneck?
So I thought the really sneaky good attack play that they had, no one really knew what kind of attack this team was going to have coming in. Losing players like Harry Apelt, Callum Wood, Nick Stiles, their entire starting attack was gone this year. But you can see guys like Doster Kroll really stepped up, 4 goals in the first half. It really set the tone for the game, and we knew this Rams defense was going to be as good as it was. And the middies were awesome on the ground balls today as well.
That's right. You brought up the attack lines. Doster Crowell, Connolly, Carter Connors, even Justin Milne were electric tonight, just putting in goals and really contributing offensively. And the defense was not as surprised that they were great, but this Rams team looks very balanced. They're young. I think they're poised to do some good things in the FCAC this year.
Yeah, Jackson. I know last year was a little bit disappointing. They lost in the beginning of FCX, lost in the beginning of States, but this is definitely a better start than they had last year.
Definitely a great way to start the season. Nothing better than starting off with a win, getting some momentum going into some of their possibly more difficult FCAC games in the upcoming stretch.
Yeah, I think we really expected this game today to be a real test of the Rams, and I think this test went really well for them. A 9-goal win is something you really want in lacrosse. Being able to win with exclamation points really builds momentum as the season goes on. And now when they get into this FCX schedule later on, they're going to have some confidence coming in.
That's right, especially with these underclassmen getting great opportunities, quality looks, goals, building their confidence. That's going to be huge for them in the rest of the season, Chad.
You have to believe the Rams are only going to get better as the season goes on, with this only being the first game of the year.
That's right. And now we would like to do a thank you to everyone who made this broadcast possible, including our camera people, Menk, and
our excellent sponsors.
And our producers, Shank and Emily Fox. So thank you to all of our sponsors for making this possible, including Walter Stewart's, who's one of our platinum sponsors.
Yeah, Walter Stewart's, man. I always love driving by there in town. It always seems busy. I know my mom goes there to get our groceries. Truly the best groceries in town, if you ask me.
That's how you fueled the record-breaking sack season.
Indeed. And then Rambuya and Harrow Real Estate. I know my parents bought our home in New Canaan from them, and it's definitely a reputable place.
And Carl
Chevrolet. I cannot say enough about Carl Chevrolet. That's where I got my car. They help fix up my car whenever I need it. Truly an excellent place, an excellent automotive jewel in New Canaan.
Carl Chevrolet is excellent. Would never get my car anywhere else. William Fessler Dentistry, a great dentist, great guy.
Yeah, man, I've had some great conversations with William J. Fessler, and he has a great dentistry place.
You know, thank you so much to all of our gold sponsors, including Renaissance Partners Residential Construction. They built some sturdy homes, Chad.
I know there's a lot of stuff going on about overdeveloping, and that's not something Renaissance Partners does.
Right, and Performance Optimal Health.
Well, they got me right. I tore my ACL earlier on this season, and I've been going through the rehabilitation process, and let me tell you, Optimal Health really is getting me right.
How can you perform if not optimally? Thank you to all of our sponsors so much. Especially thank you to Chad for coming.
Oh, yes, and Jackson, I thought you did an excellent job today. I want to thank my brother for preparing me for this moment. Truly, my first day back in the box. He really did a lot to get me here. And, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think we're going to.
Goodbye.